What's going on, you guys? So it has showed up today. The new cable bracket from Gotti's Garage. This is to put on the 600 choke cable on an 1100. Nice simple bracket. Okay, so I can hold this for you guys better. We're going to mock this up before we paint it. Since this is a prototype, we want to make sure this works properly. We'll go out here to the bike, just hold it in place. If it lines up and works good, we'll go ahead and take it all back apart and paint it. Here we have our 600 choke cable and the bracket. This bracket is designed just to clamp into it. Oh, guys. Oh, never easy doing this one-handed while showing you guys. Well, it doesn't quite fit right. We're going to have to open this opening up a little more for the stock cable. Not a problem. This is a prototype. Fitment issues might be an issue. We'll go ahead and just grind this open a hair and mock it back up. So here we've made some adjustments to the cable opening, and we're also making adjustments to the overall size of the bracket. This being a prototype bracket, we wanted to make sure I had room to play. I sent the final measurements to John at Gotti's Garage. Cable sitting just right, and then we have it bolted. It's just sitting in there, but I can move this plug wire around, and that'll give us better access. But dead on. Oops, I just don't want to put a nut on it yet. Dead on. Then you've got your choke, and we can adjust that so it's aimed right. Brackets painted just in black. We're going to go ahead and set the cable in the bracket and then bolt the cable to the frame. This allows the cable to sit just right. If you mount the bracket first, it won't let the cable sit in it properly. So then we have our 6mm button head Allen bolt. And we're just going to pass it through and tighten it up. Just like that. So we'll get this good and snug. Now our bracket's on. Now we can go over here and tighten this back nut up to secure the cable fully. And it's just plastic, so you don't want to crank on it, but you want to make sure it's snug. And now what I'm doing is adjusting it so the word choke is sitting upright. Alright, choke bracket is done. Got the choke all situated. We're going to go ahead and get the tank sitting on here Then we can put the side cover on the clutch. We got to replace the engine bolt, and I think our brake hose showed up. I don't know if I'll get to that today. Probably might just do that tomorrow. So let's go get this tank mounted. With the tank on, you guys are gonna be like, what about the choke? Where did it go? Check this out. It's hidden just behind the tank. And I know this isn't ideal if you're having to choke it while riding, but easy access, easy working, and clean. You don't have any more cables running up other than just the throttle cable. So, oh, and John told me he put these up on his website. They're like 12 bucks for the bracket if you guys want them. Now let's go and get the clutch cover on, and then we'll work on that engine bolt. I did order an OEM one. It was ridiculously expensive, but we're going to go back to stock parts. Alright, so what I ended up having to do here was removing the bolt from the shifter so I could slide the shifter out of the way and drop the cover down in place. At this point, I went ahead and put the 10mm nut in the bottom and then put the remaining clips in the top side, which proved to be difficult because my hands just didn't fit quite right. But once we had it all secure, it was nice and tight and stayed in place. With the side cover on, we're going to go ahead and start taking off this brake line. I'm going to start by clamping it, hoping it will prevent any leaking. And then we can start taking off all the bolts and everything that holds it in place. This is just to hopefully don't make a mess. You take all the brackets off too, all the way up the fork. I haven't figured out if these brackets are going to work or not for the new brake line, but I'm hoping we can at least make the line fit through here. The new line is significantly smaller in the outside diameter, but it shouldn't pose an issue. And the whole reason you want it secured is to keep it from flapping off the front forks or any other part of the bike. Now we have the brake line loose of all its brackets. It goes under the headlight bucket here and then back up top to the bars. What I want to do is get the new line mocked up and test it. I'm not going to bore you with that. But once I know it's guaranteed to be all right length, we'll go ahead and get the new, or the master cylinder up there with the front brake lever, and then start rerouting our new line and then bleed the system. Well, something I didn't think about with the stock brake lever, how long the lever is versus having the headlight control still up here. So if you look, it's going to overhang, oops, sorry guys, by like an inch or two. So we back this up here, so we have a slight gap, we should be okay. Which means the brake line I measured for probably only needed to be 6 inches plus or 4 inches plus. So we're going to have a little excessive brake line. Now we're going to tighten this up and start pulling the old brake line out fully and get the new one mocked up. All right, this is snug down. Tightened up, no play. Brake feels like it should be about right. Now we can break the line loose and get that all the way off the bike. Now we can break this bolt loose and pull the hose out of the bars, or off the bars, off the forks. We're probably going to lose some brake fluid here. I need to get a rag ready just in case, because I don't want the mess. Maybe I should have let the bars run free a little bit. Here's our new line from Mean Cycles. It's plus 8 inches. I wanted to play it safe and make sure I had plenty of slack. Comes with new banjo bolts, new crush washers, and they make it idiot proof. They label it for the master cylinder. Let me show you that. Right there. So you know what side goes where. We'll go ahead and route this through the forks up to the master cylinder, and we'll get this mounted to the forks and then down to the caliper. Alright, so we're going to start routing this through the forks. That way we know exactly where we're going with it. And then this is going to go up to the master. Just like boom. So our old bolts were a 12mm head. These are a 14. We'll put a crush washer on near the head and one on the other side of the banjo bolt. Just like so. Now we can go ahead and start the threads and get these where they need to go. I'm going to run this hand tight. And once it's hand tight, we can snug it down. We're not going to crank the heck out of these things, because if you crank on them, you're going to break them. They are just hollow bolts. I remember when my dad had to make banjo bolts from just a regular grade A bolt. It's interesting to watch him back in those days drill down the center and then cross drill it so it'll pass fluid through it. I don't know if I could keep that going, but it is just an interesting bit. Now we went ahead and secured the brake line to the cable bracket here. We'll go down to the fork side and put all our mounting brackets on the forks where they need to go. We're going to hook to the caliper first though. So we have our caliper side. Now this is fighting me a little bit just because it's so new. It doesn't have a lot of give to it. But we're just going to go ahead and kind of pinch it. Sorry guys, my hands are right in the way of the camera. until we get this situated. There. Sorry guys, I'm playing with it off camera here. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm working on how to mock this in to the brackets. I'm going to snug this down for now, and we'll play with it. Since we're so close to the fender, let's do this by hand, just like we did up top. I wonder if I can rotate. Should be like that. Got to make sure we have adequate clearance off the bleeder. All right, now we can hook up our bracket here. Simple as these are going to be a little bit fat because the stock line is a little bit bigger, but it shall at least give it guidance. We'll bolt it in. Alright, hose is mounted. I had to disconnect the upper. For some reason this hose had a twist to it that was not letting it mount right. I'm going to go ahead and work on that and see what we can figure out. It has a nasty curl in it, so I'll just sort that out. Looks like the fitting is 180 degrees off, but it'll work. It's got it run. I can secure it on the bar if I wish to, down here or something, but we've got plenty of slack. I could have probably gone with a 2-inch shorter hose. Now we'll go ahead and take the cap off and start bleeding the brakes. This is going to be interesting by myself. We got the brake line hooked up. Master cylinder is not pushing fluid to the caliper for some reason. That'll be a troubleshooting for another video. This video is getting kind of long-winded. If you like what you saw, click the like and subscribe button. God bless and take care.